Hello everyone, this is a guide video. I already posted it and this is me literally replaying the YouTube video. Um, but basically it is a guide to creating custom textures, and I mean, well, I had explanation of how you enable that, which, by the way, I have a written guide with like all the steps if you download the text pack. I have had so many people comment or message me being like, "Hey, I need a guide for this." You like what? You can you at least download the thing first? So hopefully that helps with that. Um, the reason I'm doing this again is because I meant to have commentary on it. My bad. It's meant to be recorded commentary. I must have done it, screen record just the media, because there's an option for media or media and mic, and I do it all the fucking time. I picked the wrong one. And I think I just uploaded it like that because I don't really watch my videos, right? I have fucking dysphoria from my voice. Not getting into that, but that's why I don't want to replay it. So I just didn't notice. I just didn't fucking notice. So I'm sorry. I don't know if this will replace the audio. This is it, right? Like, description. I'll probably copy this over, download link to everything you need. But yeah, let's just get into it. So let's start opening your game, the game you want to go to. I'll treat it like you haven't actually done it. You haven't actually done anything with the textures before. So you go to settings, you go to graphics. If you've got the game load you want, then it's going to apply. It's going to be the settings for that game in particular. So you've got dump textures and load textures, and like I says here, PCSX2 will dump and load texture replacements for this directory. So load textures is referring to the texture replacements. Now, I believe this recording will show this. There are two separate folders. There's the texture dump folder. When you enable texture dumps, so dump textures, which I have ticked there, any texture in the game you're playing, as you load it in, it should appear in your dump folder, and it's quite a mess. To my knowledge, there's no better way of doing it. I mean, you can sort the files by like image size. I think that's the best way to sort it, but it's not really organized, and there's not really any way to do it. If you mess with the folder, then it can like kind of break it, and then you need to like reset it. I did that before. I don't know how you reset it. I guess you delete it and then you make a new directory, I think. I could be wrong about that though. So it's best just to not fuck with the dump folder, let it do its thing. And also you need it active if you want replace textures on. So which is a bit annoying, because that means you then need this big fucking folder with a bunch of texture images in it. I don't think it takes up that much space, but that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, load textures is referring to the replacements folder. So when you've got load textures enabled, anything in your replacement folder, such as like my texture packs or any of the custom textures you want to make, it's going to be activated with that. But yeah, if you go to the search directory, am I going to go to it? I wouldn't even worry about the other bits. You just need to load and dump textures. I don't really know what the other stuff does exactly. But yeah, open. Now, they're going to have holdings based on the SUS number, which you can find, right? You can find for every game. You can probably just look it up. But yeah, this is deceptions. So yeah, you see dumps and replacements. It's going to create that, right? When you initially create it, and as you can see, this is what it kind of looks like. The dumps. It just goes kind of in a random order of what you loaded in first, so it's not going to be cohesive. I'm going to open this like Darius texture, just an example. We're not going to make anything good. I just want to show what you're doing. GIMP. Now GIMP is free. So it's free. It's free software. There are I'm sure, other stuff you can use to edit the textures. You could take it on a different device, like your phone, if you want to edit it or something, right? Like you could fucking draw something, take a photo of it, and if you name it properly, so it needs to have a name matching the original texture that's in the dump folder. That's when I don't think you need it loaded in dumps before it works. Although I guess if you go to check the texture, then you'll have loaded it. You'll have loaded the texture in, and then obviously you'll load the custom texture. I'm waffling. Don't worry about that. But yeah, I'm sure there's other stuff like Photoshop. But this is free. I like this. And I'm not an artist. I must clarify. I'm not good at art. I wish I was, because I think that would help with a lot of the fucking creative projects to do, but I'm not. I'm not. So I can't show you anything, like I can't give you like any tips on make cool drawings for the texture stuff. If you can do, good art and whatever, then that's cool. Obviously, to keep in mind is the textures wrap around the models, and in this game in particular, you won't have a lot of flat textures. So generally, you don't really want to modify what the texture is about, if that makes sense. Like recolors and like specific detail changes or modifications. That's kind of what you want with 3D era MK games. This guide will apply to any game, PC, SX2 as well. By the way, like it works the same for all of them. And also, it's generally applicable to most emulators, I feel. I'm not familiar with other emulators, really, but any that have a texture dump and replace system, they're probably going to have something similar to this, I imagine. I'm sure you can look up where to find all that stuff, but I assume it kind of applies similarly there, and yeah, so I'm just saying what I'm familiar with, but it works for other stuff, is my point. God, I've been yapping, I'm sorry, 8 minutes, and this feels like 2 minutes in here. So yeah, you'll load it in. With Deception Armageddon in particular, you have I don't really know why. It's to do with like the lighting, I guess. Every image is like partly transparent. I'm going to show you how to do that now. So you go to Layer, you go to Transparency, Threshold Alpha. You want to go to that. But also, I recommend duplicating the layer. You don't really need to. You see the opacity thing here? It's at 100 right now. I generally bring it down to like 20, and then it looks pretty much how it would in game. And I'm referring to the lighting. The textures look very glossy if they have no opacity. The lighting is really fucked up. But like generally, like low down, like 20 is fine. But you can make a duplicate, and you can then copy that over. I assume I show that. And then yeah, you see like the eye thing there. You can like use that to like toggle the visibility. So you can just have a duplicate layer, just in case. Or of course you can do like Control Z to undo. Of course, you've got your basic features like that. But transparency, threshold alpha, the value. Sometimes it just defaults like that, right? The default value, and it's gone. Sometimes you've got to like bring the slider all the way down, but you'll figure it out. Oh, and I'm showing what I meant with the opacity here. So, like, about that's fine, right? It doesn't have to be that specific. But to get the exact alpha, you can do alpha to selection here. And then add layer mask. And then it automatically picks your selection. And then it applies the original alpha to it. And you can do that once you've like edited the image and put it back on. Because you don't really want to be editing like a texture opacity. The only time I think you might is ones with like lights and stuff, and they look a bit fucked up if they don't have the opacity. That's kind of a hard one to deal with. But normal textures, your average texture, you just kind of want to get rid of it for the time being, just so you can see what you're doing. And here's another thing. I mean, I assume I meant to colour stuff for that. But yeah, colorize. And this is, you want to do just a simple recolor of the whole texture, right? You can pick the colour, set the saturation, lightness, whatever, right? And yeah, the colour styles is what you're mainly going to be fucking with, I assume. But yeah, you can mess around with it here as well for the chroma. Not responding, that's lovely. Yeah, make it black and white. Yeah, right. You can like completely just change the colours and stuff. There is one that's more important later. That will be for specific colours. Also, you can find like other sites like that'll like swap out a specific colour and you get more specific stuff like that. I normally use an external tool like that, or I save it to my phone and like. Oh, I'm showing it now. I might save it to my phone. Where I've got some like apps. I've got like a background remove app if I need to get rid of anything or crop out the bit I need. I'm sure. I think GIMP does do that as well. I think it already has that as a feature. I just don't know. Right? I wouldn't know. Again, I'm not an expert at this. I'm not good at doing this stuff. It's just not many people do it. So, yeah. But yeah, this hue saturation. And you see you've got like red, yellow, green, cyan, blue, magenta. And you can modify like each individual color. You can change the hue. So you can basically turn like red into blue. And Darius is looking like Thanos right now. So that's lovely. And look at that. You can also go to the master one, and then that changes them all simultaneously. So I found that to be a very helpful one for simple recolors. What am I doing now? See, this is why I need commentary for this video, because like I feel like it's a lot to like figure out what the fuck I'm on about. Am I showing brushes now? So to the left, you've got like all your tools, right? You've got like, I think that's like an eyedrop. You can like pick the color. Oh yeah, I have done that, and I'm like filling it in. Okay, so that's made it a bit more transparent. That's because bucket fill, and there's various modes. One's colorize. Now, again, this might just be me not knowing shit, but I find the bucket tool to be weird. There's not a simple color replace thing. And if it is, then it's replacing like the specific color, because obviously we've got something like this and there's loads of shades and whatnot, and GIMP doesn't seem to have many tools to like have a good way of just filling it in but keeping the shades, but just with the color you want. There is like one that replaces it, or I think it might be add. I might show it, but that's the best one I found because it adds the color, but then you have to like spam click the parts you want. It is very tedious. And again, there's surely a better way. That's just how it is. But yeah, as you can see, like color erase, that's going to make it like, that's going to take the color away clearly. Normal, as you can see, like it does the specific thing, and it's like sure, but from what I can tell, there's no setting to like make that less strict. So it's going to be a tedious process. You also got to like foreground, background. You'll want foreground if you're messing with textures. So yeah, is the video going? What are we doing? Am I showing the brushes now? I'm showing the brushes now. So again, to the right, you got different types of brushes. You can mess with the size. You'll probably want like the smallest size if you are like doing something specific. Brushes, and it also has the same mode system as the paint bucket, and this is going to be from like specific changes and stuff. This works a lot better, but obviously, you know, it's always going to be tricky with this. So yeah, like I've done that. I made it really big, and I've coloured in like the whole thing there. And it's like an even more purple. So I'm wondering, like, you got like a shape tool. There's a few shapes, but mainly rectangles. And you can also do the colorize thing for that specific square. So that's like a way to do a simple color swap, but not for the full thing. Obviously, something that has a more specific shape, like this portrait, you're not really gonna have a use for it. But there's a lot of like just very square or just very I guess symmetrical. I don't know. But like you can fit a simple square shape into that space. I know the blue portal texture pack I did that a lot. That was the first thing I did. That was like a year ago now. Over a year ago. Fucking hell. But yeah, there's that. You can also use it for like if you're like got no texture, you've got it as an image. I don't think I showed that. So if you do take anything and you want to edit something else and bring it back, save it on your device, and you want to open it in GIMP, I open it in GIMP the same way, right? Like I'll have it saved and right click and open in GIMP. You don't want to start like a new and then project thing because you've got like set a bunch of stuff. Forget about that. The only thing is like scaling the image, which if I don't show, I'll add that in at the end. Oh, and this is the thing. You can like select none or all, and like I often have to do that because if the outline bit's like white line instead of yellow, then that means you've got it selected, and then anything you're doing is then gonna affect that. And sometimes if you only have like the rectangle selected, that's a tricky thing. It's annoying, and usually you just like click off it and it cancels, but sometimes it doesn't, so you've got to right click and then go select none. But so you might want to select like all and then go save, which also, you know, Control A would apply to that. But yeah, I'm just showing that again, right? So am I going to show the image thing? I'm not sure what else I have to show. Oh yeah, I'm showing, yeah, you can select all too. Is there anything else? What am I doing? I'm closing it. Okay, so image. I swear I would have shown it. But you go to fucking image, right? And then there'll be near the top of the list will be like scale image. And then like you can see like the proportions, like whatever number times whatever number, height and width. Or is it width and height? I don't know which comes first. But yeah. And you can like check that with like anything. So like if you need something to be a specific size, you can also use the rectangle to figure it out. Like you can like use that to fill in whatever space you need. There is also I think it is the one that's like a line with like a circle in it. That's like free form to draw a shape. So if you're capable of doing that, then there you go. That's gonna be helpful. But yeah, you can use that, and then like it'll show in like the bottom left corner rather, down by where the pixel stuff is. It will say where, like what the pixel thing is. the size like the rectangle, right? So you can get the specific proportions, and you can get like whatever image or whatever you want to fill that in with, and then you can scale that to that image, to that square or whatever, and then you can copy that over and then paste it on top of this. That's another thing I do a lot. So yeah, I'm sorry I didn't really show that in this video, but that was the only other thing. I think, again, I don't know many strategies or tactics and stuff. This is just very bog standard. I'm just showing you how you can do it. I'm not sure what I'm doing now. Am I showing the replacements? Am I showing how that works? I'm sorry this is a very yappy video. I just want to make sure there's a guide where I properly explain what's going on. I'll probably leave just this up if you don't want to hear me yap. I'm showing the replacements. Am I? Okay. See, this is like my texture pack, right? I've got it all separated and stuff. I don't know why I'm showing this. Am I showing because there's a guide? Because I have a guide written on how to do it, which I've already shown, right? You get your textures. When you want to like do something with I'll say here. Yeah, look, like I think this is a pretty good written guide. I think this is better than like what I can like say in a video. But basically, like when you want to get something, you need it in the replacements folder. You need the right name. With GIMP, you can go export. When you go to file, there's an export button, and you could put that into the replacement folder. I don't just replace the named dump folder because you want it to be the original texture. You want it to be in the replacements folder, but sharing the name. That's probably the only other thing. But yeah, like it's all written there, and I think it's quite thorough. So I'd follow that if you're still struggling, and if you are still struggling after that, Discord server in the description. Join that, I'd say, and that's probably the easiest way to contact me. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy to help, of course. It was just it's weird to get a lot of comments like for like a guide or asking what to do. I have a written guide, and I just don't think they've seen that. And it's like, I don't know. If you have a specific problem, then tell me. Right? You can do it in the comments as well. You can, just let me know what the actual issue is, and I can help. But I can't help if it's just I don't know, because I feel I've given enough information where like people can get past the initial I don't know any of this stage. But let me know. Let me know if you not need anything, and I will definitely try to help. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. I think this is it. Yeah, there's like 20 seconds left in that recording. I mean, I'll leave it as is. If you want to just look at the screen recording footage. But I think that covers everything in a messy way. So yeah, thanks for watching. See ya.